Hey, welcome to our Monday weekly call. What's up, everybody? Good to see you guys. As you come in, please let us know in the comments who you are, where you're from. Little tip, if you guys will please go in um, to our Facebook group, there's a button you can click so that we can see your name inside the chat. It just spells it out for you there so that you can register with Facebook through StreamYard so that we can see your name in the chat. So as you guys are coming into the chat, let us know where you are from and give us a little background on what you've done over the last couple of days, last couple of weeks with LifeVantage. What's up, Ernie? Nice to see you, my man. Your team, man, the group from Michigan. Fun stuff going on right now. Those guys are excited. It was great seeing all those guys. So we've got some good stuff lined up for you guys on this call today. I wanted to start the call out. Well, I'm going to wait to see if some of these guys jump on. So, hey, Lisa, love to have. I got to get Lisa on here with her income story because it's just it's phenomenal. There she is. No, that's Eric. So let's see. Let me find her. Things are moving fast. Good job, guys. You guys are blowing the chat up. So Michigan's in the house. Puerto Rico is in the house. What's up, Shayla? Nice to have you on. Tampa, J-Lo's in the house. What's going on? So see, here's an example. Port Orange, Florida. I would love to give you a shout out, but you have not registered with Facebook. Yes. You guys have a huge presentation tomorrow, Liz. So tomorrow's got a lot, right? So there is a presentation that's happening tomorrow at 8:00 about Lyme, and then at 8:30 I am hosting a Zoom with two doctors. So it's going to be loaded. Okay, Australia, here's one. I'd love to give you a shout out, but I don't know who you are because you have not registered. Here's another one. Hi, Team TVC. Come on, guys, get registered. I want to see who you guys are in here. Look, hello from Louisiana. Hi from Michigan. Hi from Ohio. Come on, guys, let's get registered. So Sherry's registered. Super easy peasy, right? So anyway, enough of that. I want to give a shout out to a new consultant that's in the group. She's actually in Australia. I want to give you a little bit of background on her. And I haven't met her personally, but I will tell you that she admittedly at the beginning was fearful about how this business may work, if she was going to be able to do this business, because she didn't feel as if she had the skill set to bring new customers on, new consultants on. But because of incredible coaching from Chloe Maxwell and leadership from Chloe, she's been able to plug into some tools that we've set out. So big shout out to Carrie Pearson, because I'm looking at this post. She's welcoming in the TBC guys 4 new consultants on her team. And she's got a bunch of new customers, and she's just getting started. And I'm not sure she may be on here tonight. I don't know. Maybe Chloe's on here. Let me scan through here a little bit. Let me see. Not on yet. But what we have put together with our new tools, livingactivated.info, is really empowering people to get results that they might have otherwise not have been able to get. And so the moral of the story is get people into that website. However you can get them into the website. We've given you a few examples, but give them, oh, wait a second, she is on there. She is. What is up, Carrie? Carrie, in the chat, since you're here, tell us what you feel is really giving you that edge to get some new consultants, because you're on a roll now. How are you getting these customers? How are you getting the consultants? Give us some feedback on livingactivated.info. I'd love to see you in the chat. So as I see you maybe type some stuff in, I just wanted to give you a shout out, Carrie, because you are the people that we look for and try to inspire. Network marketing, the strength of network marketing is making things that might look difficult actually become simple. That is the mark of a good team with good tools and a good system. And if we can do that, here's what I want you guys to think big picture. Okay. And they're giving you shout outs, Carrie. So this is really, really, really cool. And awesome. I love it. You are that. Listen, there's a saying, ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. Ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. So when you're passionate about something, it's not that you're ignorant, it's just that when you're passionate about something, that comes through more so than knowledge or your ability to articulate a certain kind of product or whatnot. So, oh, love this. I love that. So, you keep on doing what you've been doing, Carrie, and soon this will be a full-time gig for you. So anyway, think about, to kind of wrap this up, put a bow on this topic, about helping people get results that might not otherwise have gotten results. Think about the most successful franchises around you in the world. And one of them that has to come to mind is McDonald's or perhaps Starbucks. Interesting fact. I'd love for you guys in the chat. I would love for you in the chat. And for those of you that have seen or heard my training on this, what year do you think Starbucks was established? In the chat. And there's a little bit of a delay, so it's going to take a few seconds for you guys to put this up in here. But a lot of times we get asked, as you guys are thinking and you're putting your responses in the chat, a lot of times people will say, well, if this product's so good, why haven't I heard about it? Or if it's all this science, why haven't I heard about it? Ernie says the 60s. No, Ernie, not the 60s. Lisa, 2006. No. But that's about, I'll tell you, the first time I had a cup of Starbucks was in 2005. It was in Chicago. Hannah says 1990. No. Tori says over 20 years. You're right. So 1971. 1971 in Seattle, Washington is where Starbucks started. And so you think about 1971, how long did it take before you heard of Starbucks? And you actually then got the first cup of coffee, right? Because many times it was months or years after you heard about it before you got the coffee. Guys, this is no different. I'm not saying it's going to take 30 years for Protandim or NRF2 activation to become a household name. But even if it did, can you imagine the magnitude of what you guys are sitting on? Because LifeVantage is only 14 years old. And in some countries, we haven't been there for 14 years. So time is on our side. You guys are all so early. But when you're thinking about Starbucks or McDonald's, those are systems where the product is that the consumer gets, the customer gets, is very consistent. I always talk about the French fries. You can go anywhere around the world for the most part, and definitely within a country. I can go all over the United States, and the French fries at McDonald's taste absolutely the same. It's because their system is dead on. They have a certain type of product that they put in a certain type of grease, and they fry for a certain period of time. If you fry it not long enough, it doesn't taste the same. If you put too many in the grease at one time, it doesn't taste the same. So it's consistency, right? And here's the part I need you guys to focus on. It's different people frying the French fries all over the world. And let's face it, not that these kids are not talented kids in some way, shape, or form, but it doesn't take a lot of talent or ability to fry French fries. That's why they're able to pay people very low wages, right? It doesn't take someone with a college degree to fry French fries. Literally, you should be able to be hired by that franchise, and then within hours or a day or so, be able to produce the French fries. If you can't, you probably won't have a job there. So it's the system, right? That's what you guys want and need in your teams. That kind of radical consistency by using systems so that people that are passionate, like Carrie, can come in and just plug people into the system, into our ITT system, into livingactivated.info, and get reproducible, consistent results. That's what we all want in our organization. And that's what network marketing is built on helping people get results that thought they could not sell, right? And then it's up to them to get the skills to level up so that their income grows. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about a little bit more tonight. Okay. So anyway, congratulations to Carrie and all the future Carries that come along and all the future people that Carrie can help come along, because I think we've got something really, really special with our systems right now at the moment. A question's come up over the weekend, and I know Holly Tomit's actually on here. I saw her typing away earlier. So Holly, hold on. Here she is right here. So I know she's in here unless she's jumped off to something else. I have found a way for you to track or find your personal customers in our back office. Okay. So I am in the IT committee. I admit I cheated. I went to the IT committee chat, WhatsApp chat, and just started asking questions. And so we are getting a filter soon where you literally will just have to click a button for your personally enrolled. Like, you'll be able to filter through, click personally enrolled, and you will be able to get that list. I've got a workaround for you, Holly, and everybody else. The reason Holly wants this is because she is incredibly good at customer service, customer appreciation, which leads to customer retention. And that's what Evolve is paying us so much money for now, guys, is customer retention. Okay, so here it goes. And I'm going to read off of my notes. First thing is go to detailed genealogy. Okay, so in your back office, you can scroll to the bottom or you can look at the headers and find detailed genealogy. Once you're there, the very first thing I want you to do is go to filters and filter just customers. Okay, so that's the only thing that's going to be in, no ranks or anything else. You just are looking for customers. Now, that alone is going to list every customer in your organization. So don't freak out. Okay, I got you. So go to filters, click customers. Then in columns, right? You guys know we've got organization filters and columns there. In columns, I want you to go through and click placement ID. This is one of the keys. I want you to click placement ID. Now, there's a few other things you can use in columns if you want. You can have last order. You can have a number of things there. But if you're just purely looking for their name and that's pretty much it, then just filter out placement ID. Then here's what you have to do, because it's going to give you all the customers, right? Click in the header where it literally says placement ID. Okay, so it's above their name, placement ID in the header. If you will click that, you hover over, you'll see the little mouse or finger. You can click it, and when you click it, it itemizes everyone, all of these customers, according to ID number. And the very first ID numbers that show up is your ID number. That's it. And then it will show your second business centers and third business centers thereon and thereon, right? And so that is the workaround around the way until we get that. So I hope that made that clear. Detailed genealogy, go to filters, get just customers in the filters, then go to columns and click placement ID. Okay. And then in the header where it actually says placement ID, click on that. And that will give you all of your customers, right? And then, like I said, you can do some of the other things in the columns if you want. I suggest you put their last order, or the day of their order, their batch order, because that will help you to know when their subscriptions are running. So anyway, okay. So, all right, we got a few more minutes here. So one thing I wanted to share with you that is starting to be surface a little bit more that I'm feeling in the organization is people comparing themselves to other people, right? And so I'm seeing it a little bit because of our new seller gems with Onyx and Emerald, Sapphire, and Diamond. People wondering, like, how are they doing this? And just wondering, like, and do I have the skills? What do they have that I don't have? But it usually surfaces as someone is starting, their organizations are starting to grow. Okay. Because you guys know I'm big on numbers and tracking your ratios of customers to consultants, tracking the percentages of growth or the percentages of which you didn't grow that particular month. And sometimes that knowledge becomes not public, but people that you work with, maybe someone asks you, like, what were your numbers? Were you up last month? Were you green? Were you red? And we share that. Okay. And for the people who are not growing as fast as you are, it starts to work on them a little bit. So you guys, comparison, you guys, it will steal your joy. You can't do it in this business. And mainly because the growth of your organization, while it depends on a lot on you as far as your recruiting and how much you're recruiting and that sort of thing, it also has a lot more to do with the people you are recruiting. The only thing we can control in this business, the only thing we can control in this business is the invite. Okay. We can't control when they're going to enroll. And once they enroll, we can't control if they're going to invite, if they're going to follow up. We can't control those things. All we can do, yes, J-Lo, comparison is truly the thief of joy in all we do, right? Depending on who you enroll has everything really to do with how fast your organization grows. And here's the little example I want you guys to kind of remember. If I gave all of you $100,000, okay, I just gave you the $100,000, and the one rule would be you have to invest that $100,000 into 20 different companies. So, and you get to pick how much you're going to invest in those companies. You could put 100,000 all in one company, or you could put 5,000 on 20 companies. Oh no, I said that wrong. I'm sorry. So 20 companies, you get to pick how much into those companies. Okay. 100 grand, 20 companies. So maybe you do it evenly, 5 grand, or maybe you only give 1 grand to one and then you give 10 to others, but you get the picture. 100 grand, 20 companies. What are the chances that if I come back to this group and I just pick 40 of you, even 10 of you, what are the chances that all 10 of you have an equal return on that $100,000? What are the chances? The chances are 0. There's no way. There is no way that if I give that out and you guys go out and pick whatever companies you want and you invest whatever amounts you want, that when we come back, that everyone has the same money. Now, what if some people lose? Probably. Would some people win? Probably. And there'd be a bunch in the middle. Why would we be comparing ourselves in this business when we're not recruiting the people that someone else is recruiting? If I recruit 20 people and you recruit 20 people, the chances of my 20 and your 20 having the same results, completely unrelated. So if you want to have better results, obviously recruit better people. Like, one of the funniest lines I ever heard is, you got to stop recruiting people in the unemployment line. Like, the reason why some people have success really fast in this business is because they've been making good decisions for the last several years before they joined LifeVantage, and everybody in their network kind of knows that, hey, this person's been making good decisions. So when they call them and invite them to take a look at something, their network generally will take a look because they kind of know this person's kind of got their life together, versus someone that maybe has had to been borrowing money, or I don't know, life kind of falling apart. I'm grateful that those people are joining our company and joining LifeVantage. When people finally see that they need to do something, even when things have been going rough, I applaud that. In fact, I'm kind of attracted to those people in a way because many times people, when they get their back against the wall, that's when they have results. Um, rock bottom has created a lot of heroes. Let's say that when people finally hit rock bottom. However, it takes those people a little longer to build back a reputation, right? So someone that's been kind of doing good for years and they join LifeVantage, they're going to grow faster because their network wants to hear from them. Their network wants to be a part of what they're doing. Someone that joins the company that maybe has been through a rough patch, their business is going to grow a little slower until they potentially can recruit some people who have been making some good decisions. Who it's influence. We hear this all the time. It's influence. If you can recruit people that have influence, then you're going to have better success than people that are getting recruited that don't have the same amount of influence. That is simply what this is all about. So yes, I love the comments. Love the comments that you guys are putting in here. Right. So just keep that in mind as you're going through your journey, because I'm promising you that as people grow around you, there's going to be this thought of, man, what am I doing wrong, or what are they doing that I don't have? And I just told you what's happening. Their network is tapping into other good networks, and potentially your networks are not tapping into those better networks. So that's why personal development is so important in this game. It's why you adding value is so important. And it's why I put such an emphasis. Yes, Lisa. Yes. I think that might be an aha moment. Not that Lisa's enrolling people in the unemployment line. But start putting an emphasis on financial education. That's why I put such an emphasis on financial education. I see Emma's on here, Hennigan. She did a live that I commented on. I think she did it yesterday. She pointed out these 4 things around money mindset. It was golden. Go check that out. Because listen, if I can help people start to learn some things financially and change their money mindset, then the people around them are going to be like, whoa, wait a second. Brandon's, some things are changing. Something's different with Brandon. And then in 6 months later, it's even better, right? Brandon's making better decisions and things are going the right. My friends will start to see that and they'll circle back. That's the beauty about this business. Is we talked about at the Castaway, it's really not the quality of the seed that produces or is responsible for what the tree produces. It's the quality of the soil. Okay. It's really not the seed that determines how much a tree will produce. It's more important of the soil. And what is the soil? It's the environment. It's the environment you are in, or the environment you are creating for your team and your people. So there is a lot of damaged seeds in this world. We're all damaged. We are all damaged in this world. And so it's critical that you create the right environment for yourself, and then you share that with other people. Let people into this environment you created. That's what we're doing with the TBC. That's what this very call is about. It's what the whole TBC is about. Our community is about creating soil that is so rich that when people plug into it, they grow. The seeds grow and they produce. I wanted, and time has gone by so fast tonight. I'm gonna lay out a couple of these, and I think I might continue it. That's what I'm gonna do. So at the Castaway, and someone put it in the chat last week. I think it was Eric. The 9 steps to freedom. I call this the roadmap to freedom. And I'm going to cover a couple of these tonight. I'm going to elaborate on these, and maybe we'll do it over the next couple weeks. All right. Yeah. Oh, you're from the Gold Coast. Right on, Jill. Can't wait. I just got my accommodations for the Gold Coast. It's going to be a fantastic week next week in Australia. So it all starts with your why. Okay. We've said this over and over and over. That's not your why is not even part of the 9 things you need to do. But if you don't have a big enough reason to do this, you will quit, because there will be plenty of obstacles. But your reason for doing this has to be bigger than the obstacle. Okay. So that's why, like, when you think of an obstacle, maybe a fence, something keeping you from something you want, your goal has to be the mountain. So that the fence, even though the fence may be 6 foot tall or 10 foot tall, the obstacle of the problem may be 6 foot or 10 foot or 20 foot or even 50 foot. Your goal, your why needs to be the mountain. The mountain's much bigger. Like, some people just focus on the fence and that's all they can see and they quit. The problem, like, no one's signing up. Everyone's ghosting me. I'm not making any money. I don't have any time, blah, 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 blah. And that's what they focus on when they forget why they did this in the first place. I did this so that I could get more time with my family. Wasn't for money, wasn't for anything else than time. We were making plenty enough money. If I could have kept making the money I was making for the rest of my life, we'd have been good. Okay. But I had to work too hard and I missed too many things to make that money. So what was my reason for doing this? What was my mountain? It was missed opportunities with my family, with my kids, with my wife. That was the mountain. That was a bigger problem than me driving across town through traffic to go to a meeting where no one would show up. What's a bigger problem? Traffic, no one showing up, or missing on my family? That's obvious. Okay. So the why is huge. But let me tell you, number one is, and these are in no certain order, but they kind of are. Invite at least 2 people a day to look at this business. Invite 2 people a day, at least. Lynette and I had never done this business before, and I still have a lot to learn about this business. There are people that are way more talented than I am in this business. But the one thing that Lynette and I have brought to this business is radical consistency. Radical consistency. And that breeds trust. Consistency breeds trust. And so when it comes to your business, inviting 2 people a day, or inviting 10 people today and no one tomorrow and no one the next day and no one the next day and no one the next day, it turns into a trend. And before you know it, you've only invited 10 people for the month. 2 a day. Stay consistent. So my first question is, have you guys invited 2 people today? Some of you have. Some of you have not. 2 invites a day. I remember, this is sticking in my head. Cheryl Ray Gomez, who has had a lot of success in the industry, went through like this growth curve several years ago. And I asked her, like, what's going on? Like, what's changed? And she said, I will not let myself, the day end, I will not go to sleep until I have invited 2 people to take a look at the information. So good on you, Anna. Good on you. Now do it Tuesday and do it Wednesday and do it Thursday. That's the beauty of lifeactivated.info, or the activatedlife.info. I'm sorry. My mind is moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour right now. Livingactivated.info. So 2 invites a day will get this thing done for you, but stay super, super, super consistent. The second thing is using third-party validation. Third-party validation. Now, why? It's a little awkward. It's a little wonky at first. Like, it's just weird, right? Why? Like, your friends are like wondering, why are you bringing a stranger into this conversation? Can't you just tell me? Well, it has everything to do with the way you set it up, because I can promise you, if I had a friend that was a big basketball fan and I went to them and I said, hey, listen, I met Michael Jordan and he's willing to jump on a Zoom and talk to some of my friends about basketball skills or being a MVP in professional sports, I can promise you I would not get ghosted, because it's Michael Jordan, right? Or it could be in business. Mark Cuban. I could tell people, hey, I got an opportunity to get Mark Cuban on a Zoom. I wouldn't have to say much more than that, right? Like everyone knows, right? So, no, I am not Mark Cuban or Michael Jordan in basketball or business. But when you can start promoting people as if they have accomplished massive things, that your network starts to feel as if they better not miss the call. Like they need to jump on this call just to hear from the person that you're connecting them with. Then you will start having more success on three-way calls. Now, why do you need to do that? Because if you don't do third-party validation, you will never get repeated results. It's part of the system. Your French fries will just, they won't taste good. Like you ever get those French fries sometimes that are like really brown and dry? Yeah. A few of those end up in your French fries. That's because they didn't make it out when they were supposed to. They stayed in the longer and they fried and fried and fried, and no one likes those, right? Guys, don't do that in your business. Follow the system. If you don't follow the system, you're going to get the results you don't want. Third-party validation allows you freedom and flexibility in your business. If you don't use third-party validation, then the only thing you have to stand on is your own ability to close every deal as a customer or consultant. Every time someone on your team needs something done, you've got to do it. 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 And so teaching people how to do this, like if you're the one that has to explain the science, then you're going to be explaining science for the rest of your life. And that's not the power of this business. This business is a business of leverage. There isn't one guy that goes around and fries all the French fries at all the McDonald's around the States because he's the best at frying the French fries. No, there's a system. And that's what you have to rely on, third-party validation. And I'm going to stop there. We're going to go through these. That third-party validation, guys, you need to set it up. Last thing I'm going to say, set this up in accordance to how your people like to participate. So if you in conversation, if you're normally a texter with these people, then you set up a three-way text chat. If you do phone calls with this person, when you talk to them, like if you were to invite them to a restaurant or to the movies, would you do that through text or a phone call? Because sometimes people normally talk on the phone, but then they'll text this invite because they're a little bit worried about how this thing is going to go. So I'm getting text messages from my other group that I've got to jump on a call. So I'm going to jump off this and wrap it up. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this call. And next week, we'll continue this conversation. And I'm on my way to Australia next week. So you guys take care. Bye-bye.